number 11. Order. Jenny Salesa.
To the Minister of Education. Does she take any responsibility for the poor education that Hon Dr Nick Smith says is partly to blame for falling rates of Māori and Pasifika home ownership?
The Honourable Hikia Parata.
Tēnā koe, Mr Speaker.
Tēnā koe.
Mr Speaker, I consider it helpful to the House to quote Honourable Dr Smith's full comment, which was, quote, "So the fact that our Māori and Pasifika people have lower rates of home ownership is just a broader reflection of the fact that they tend to have lower educational achievement, that they have lower incomes, and that translates itself into housing. It's not an excuse. It's simply saying that good education, reinforcing the importance of that for Māori and Pacific communities, helping them be able to achieve higher incomes as well as direct assistance around housing is all part of the solution to turn these long-term declines around." Mr Speaker, I do take responsibility, along with all my colleagues on this side of the House, for raising educational achievement for all young people. We know that gains in educational achievement mean gains in economic success. Under this government, the provisional number of 18-year-olds with NCEA Level 2 has increased for all young people, and the data shows that the largest gains have been made by Māori and Pasifika students, up 62% and 54% respectively since we took government. Mr Speaker, I put this government's record up against that government's record any day of the week.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Jenny Salesa.
Does she think it's acceptable for a minister to respond to a story about falling home ownership by blaming lower educational achievement when educational achievement for both Māori and Pasifika have been rising for the past 25 years?
The Honourable Hikia Parata.
Well, actually, under that previous government, we have now 26 to 33-year-olds who are struggling, and they were educated under that government. However, the point of accurately quoting my colleague was to fully explain there was no blame attribution. It was simply factual. Lower educational qualifications lead to lower incomes, which leads to lower possibility of participating. That's why under this government we've been focused on raising it, not wringing our hands and shouting abuse.
Order. The question has been answered.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Jenny Salesa.
Does she think when Nick Smith was making that statement, he was referring to her performance in delivering 11,500 more young and Pasifika not in employment, education or training?
The Honourable Hikia Parata.
Mr Speaker, no, she doesn't think that. And, Mr Speaker, if the opposition want to ask questions about other members' quotes, why don't they direct them to them instead of this silly game here? I am proud of our government's record. It is silly. It is. Selectively choosing parts of a quote is just silly. So Mr Speaker, I'll say again, I'll put our government's record in terms of education in general and Māori and Pasifika in particular against that, including that last night in Auckland, Macaulay High, with a high Pasifika girl population, was selected as the supreme winner of the Prime Minister's Award.
Yes, I'm proud of Macaulay High. Supplementary question.
Supplementary question, Jenny Salesa.
Does she believe that Nick Smith was just endorsing Bill English's statement that a lot of young Kiwis are pretty damned hopeless? If so, why?
Order. The Honourable Hikia Parata.
Mr Speaker, no, she doesn't believe that. I'm sorry that that member holds such inaccurate beliefs herself.
Supplementary question, Jenny Salesa.
Has she discussed the minister's comments with him? And if so, did she advise him to stop blaming Māori and Pasifika and instead to just start building houses?
Either of those two supplementary questions, the Honourable Hiki Parata.
Mr. Speaker, I did discuss it with my colleague, and I totally agree with him that in order to raise economic participation, we have to raise educational achievement. That is why this government is focused on doing exactly that. That's why we have seen these 62 and 54% gains. They're higher than anything ever produced under that government.
Question number